go.
Away we go?
Away we go. Did you ever see Away We Go, that movie about the Canadian geese?
Mm-mm.
And they have to teach these Canadian geese how to fly, so they built an airplane that looks like a goose. I don't think it's called Away We Go. Maybe this is actually called, like, Going South for Geese or something.
Uh-huh.
Going Home. I don't know. Okay. Well, clap.
Should we?
Yeah. Wait, but don't yet because I'm not looking. Okay. I'm looking now.
1, 2, 3. It's just hard. 1, 2, 3. It's because I'm doing it left-handed. It's such
yeah.
1, 2, 3. Wait, let me just try it and lean over here. 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
That's what we've been doing wrong.
that's it.
Because I'm going at it with my left hand.
It's lefty loosey.
And I remember that last week, we almost hit each other because we were like so far off.
Yeah. It's hard to do. Who knew high fives with your non-dominant hand?
Who knew?
Who knew?
I didn't.
I didn't either.
1, 2, 3.
Hi, I'm Maggie.
And I'm Amanda.
And we're sisters.
In law.
We're watching Suits one episode at a time.
It's a show so nice, I've watched it twice.
And a show so great, I'm watching it late.
Thanks so much for tuning in.
Maggie's never seen it and Amanda's obsessed. They don't wear fancy suits, they are casually dressed. They are sisters-in-law and they got a show about a law firm drama that aired a few years ago. Only Suits fans, only Suits fans. Only Suits fans, only Suits fans. Only Suits fans, only Suits fans.
This is Season 3, Episode 15, Know When to Fold 'Em. You gotta know when to hold 'em.
Know when to fold 'em. Know when to walk away. Know when to run.
You gotta count
Your blessings when you're sitting at the table.
And you
Don't know what you're eating. Maybe
It's from
mashed
Chick-fil-A.
potato. Maybe some mashed potatoes.
Wait, I can't believe I don't know that last part of it.
You gotta count your blessings when you're sitting at the table.
And you're fighting for your right to win another poker chip.
No.
I know, I'm trying to see if I'm inspired by new lyrics.
You looked at me like, do you
Did I
believe?
get it?
Do you believe that?
That you knew a lot of words.
No, I
Whiskey
just
woke
threw.
up.
He was like, this is my jam. Here's my brief.
Okay.
Charles Van Dyke, more like Van Yikes, as a former named partner comes marching back into the firm demanding to look at the books and increase his dividends. His presence highlights Katrina's loyalty and need for readers to catch the fine print, and reveals Lewis's heartbreak wallowing to Jessica, who pulls him out of his depression and back into the ring to fight for his one true love, the firm. Speaking of one true loves, Mike and Harvey just can't quit each other. Despite a gambling attorney with nothing to lose threatening to disbar the duo, Mike decides to stay a fake lawyer and not take the investment banker job. And Donna, despite being awesome, doles out some bad advice. I was not a fan of Donna's advice in this one. Sometimes I don't agree with Donna.
You don't have to.
And I know she's awesome, but I'm just kind of like, Donna, you're changing it too hard. You know, like if you get your cards read, it's like, this is just what we see in your cards. And it doesn't mean it's going to happen. You can change it. But sometimes I think, like, it changes it for the worse. And I think Donna's like, I can see how this could play out, and I'm going to manipulate the situation to protect Harvey or to protect XYZ entity. But she ends up moving everything, like creating a new river. Does that make sense?
Yeah, the entire time you were reading that brief, you sounded just like your mother, and your facial expressions look just like her, too.
What? Really?
Uh-huh.
When I said Van Dyke, more like Van Yikes, that sounds like Barb.
Just the whole way you presented it.
Really? Mm-hmm. Even after my Donna spiel?
Yeah, that's when it got even more Barb.
Really? Mm-hmm. I did see her today. So,
Yeah.
you know.
It was very hot sports opinion-ish.
Yeah, and I usually have mild sports opinions.
You had a lot of Barb in that one.
I had a lot of Barb. I had a lot of passion. This
Yeah.
was a spicy episode.
Yeah.
This starts with Lewis, and he is so depressed. He has all these ballerina statues. He's on the phone with Dr. Lipschitz, and he is so, so sad. And he's talking about, like, why do I tip people at restaurants when they don't even bring me what I ordered? Like, why do I have to bend over backwards and be so nice to everybody? Which is like, I don't see that Lewis Litt ever.
Right.
But interesting that that's who he talks about himself as to the therapist.
Yes. And then Katrina calls. It's 7:55. He has an 8 o'clock. He was like, you got to cover for me. I can't put my heart into work. I'm not going to do any work at all. I don't know if I'm coming in today, tomorrow, ever, hold everything. So Katrina's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
So then we see Donna, and she's at Pierce Inspector, and she's talking to Jessica, and she's like, hey, I just thought you might want to know that Charles Van Dyke is in the lobby. And Jessica's like, I do want to know something like that.
Thank you for telling me.
Thank you for telling me. And she comes, and Charles Van Dyke is just looking at the Pierce Inspector, and the thing he says to Jessica is, I can't believe you put the mailroom boy on the wall.
Oh, man.
Because he was one of the original names that Pearson and Hardman
took over
from.
Yep. He wants a 30% increase in his dividend check and a formal demand to audit the books.
Because he thinks that she's hiding some profit.
Yep.
Because she's, quote unquote, always hiding something.
Ooh.
He's been wronged. I don't know. I'm curious what the history is of, like, why her and Hardman got him out. But I think we kind of get to it a little bit in this episode of why she does not like Van Dyke. But he's there, and he's going to collect a fat check. So Katrina is in her office. She has this beautiful painting in her office.
She does.
Like, fabulous, colorful, florally modern. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's very
nice.
It's a very nice painting.
It's lovely.
Lovely. And Jessica's like, hey, where's Lewis? And Katrina's the gatekeeper. And so she is not going to tell Jessica. And Jessica's like, actually, you have to tell me everything because I am Jessica motherfucking Pearson.
Yeah.
So Katrina says Lewis is at court, which is a lie.
Yeah.
And Jessica says, well, I need him to look at this, and he needs to get around to it. Like,
look at the demand letter. So Katrina asked Rachel for help with Lewis. So she's not there to get Lewis out of bed. She's there to cover for Lewis, and Rachel can help. So instead of coming clean and telling Jessica, hey, he's actually not at court, he's kind of having a little bit of girl problems, they decide they're going to do the work for him, pass it off as his, and try and cover for him. And so Katrina and Rachel in the library, and they're whispering about how brilliant Lewis is, right? They're whispering on a level of whispering where I had to, like, jack up the volume because I was like, I can't hear what these ladies are saying. And I'm jack it right back down. And that Lewis is, like, one hell of attorney, right? So they're doing this as people are, like, walking by. So
and
it makes it...
Yeah, and they are Lewis.
They are Lewis in this instance.
They think they've done such a good job.
Yeah.
They're like, I can't believe we did it. We're the best Lewis Litts. We lit this firm up. Lewis is so great.
Look at us.
Look at us. And then they march out so proud. So Jessica takes this quote-unquote Lewis Litt, but it's actually Lewis Faux Lit. And she offers 5 cases to Van Dyke. She's like, I know you want to get back in business, so here, take these cases. It'll establish you. You're welcome. And he's like, actually, I'm shitting on your offer because he does not want cases. And she says, well, then you're also not going to get any dividends because you're not entitled to anything at Pearson Spector. You are entitled to something at Pearson Hardman.
And then he says, except in the fine print, any partnership with the named partner as Jessica Pearson is entitled to dividends. So she is the common denominator. And if her name is attached to it, then you're getting dividends.
Which is wild.
It's a wild, wild clause.
I can't
so
believe
if she
that
left and went
even...
to go be partner somewhere in, like, Boston, right? Or Phoenix, he would still get dividends if she was a named partner.
Which means she can never go and join another firm, isn't it?
Well, she can, but, like, how's she going to sell that?
Right, yeah. Ugh.
I know.
So Katrina is in the library where she was just moments earlier celebrating how brilliant she is as Lewis Litt. And Jessica finds her. And she says, I got hung out to dry. Lewis Litt would never have missed this. So you little jerk. You lied to me.
Yep.
Katrina is so short next to Jessica.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
didn't
Jessica's
realize.
Gina Torres is a tall lady, and Amanda Scholl is a shorter lady. She's
Yeah.
petite.
But they both have such powerful personalities.
They do.
But seeing this power dynamic and the height difference, they really showcased it.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
this
Also
scene.
camera angles, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But Jessica straight up fires her. And Rachel is watching the whole thing from behind a door.
Oh, man.
She's just standing there like, oh, yikesies.
And she goes in and she's like, you cannot fire Katrina. We were covering for Lewis. And then Jessica says, are you saying that I should fire you too? If you're covering?
And Rachel's like, no,
No,
because
that's
I know
what I was
you,
saying.
you
This is
value
like
loyalty.
2 episodes in a row where Jessica's coming in hot.
She is stressed.
Yeah.
You can feel her stress. She's mourning Quentin's death still, I'm sure. Her firm has fallen apart 3 times. She's keeping it all together, and her partner is Harvey Specter.
She
who
could
she's
use a Zanny, I think.
She could use 7 Zannies.
Yeah.
1 for each day of the week.
Jessica goes to Lewis's house. She's like, basically, wake the fuck up. Let's go. And she comes in. He immediately sees Katrina's error because she shows him like what happened here. And Jessica says, I know you love Sheila, but do you love your firm? Van Dyke is trying to get into Pearson Spector's pants. And what is he going to do? He's going to put on a goddamn chastity belt, and he's going to make the partnership an LLC. She's like, you can't do that. You can't rewrite all of our contracts in one day. He's like, I have an army of associates.
I'm Louis goddamn Marlowe
he's
Lit.
like, he's like, I hold them within an inch of their lives. I can work for them. Yeah, I'm Louis goddamn Marlowe Lit. And he's going to put all the associates on this. It's really great.
It's going to get done by tomorrow. This is exactly what he needed.
It's
a rallying cry for his family.
The same energy as 2 weeks ago when he was like, I'm Moby goddamn Dick.
Yes, but now he's Louis goddamn Marlowe Lit.
Yeah.
He needs to be wanted. You know, he needs to be needed.
He does.
That's what motivates him to get up. He feels discarded by Sheila, heartbroken, of course. But when Jessica's like, I need you, Louis, he's like, of course you do.
Right.
Of course. So then Jessica's in court. She's calling Louis. She's like, where the hell are you? He is late because he has to take things easy.
Yeah.
We don't know this yet. Van Dyke walks in. The judge calls the case. Uh-oh, Jessica needs to stall. And so she's like, hey, before we go in there, I know why you hired me. And I asked you straight up, did you hire me because of gender or race? And you said no. But I saw the asterisk next to my name that said diversity. And I just want you to know, like, how shitty that felt. And that I knew immediately who you were.
And it made her work that much harder to get where she was. She was towering over him, about to crush his fucking Van Dyke ass.
His Van Dyke dick.
He's Van Dyke ass.
Van Dyke ass. She says, that asterisk made me sick. You woke the dragon, Charles. How do you like me now?
Yeah, what an interesting thing to write. That's probably Charles the writer wrote that line. Because a little bit, how do you like me now?
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 It's a country song, right?
Yeah. Probably
Now
that.
I'm on my own. Phone.
They give Jessica these, like, very powerful lines that are also kind of silly.
Yeah.
And that's it. She walks in, and I can only assume that they win this.
You can only assume. You know what happens when you assume.
I
You make
love-
an ass out of you and me.
My Van Dyke ass.
My Van Dyke ass. Up next, is this Mike's last hurrah as a lawyer?
I don't know. But Harvey is hiding behind building doors waiting for Scotty. She's been ignoring his calls. He says sorry, and he asks her to let it go and asks her to trust him. And she's like, okay, I can let it go. It's a good apology. She lets it go. They walk into the office as an adorable couple. Harvey's excited to take Mike to an IPO event for Marathon Footwear.
Yeah.
But who's there?
James Quelling.
Is it Quelling?
Yeah.
It is Quelling.
James Quelling comes and he wants to talk about Marathon Footwear, building playgrounds that kill children. He's extorting Marathon?
Yeah, he's essentially going to be extorting Marathon because he's saying, you're going public, the IPO goes public, and I'm going to drop these suits on Friday, which is going to tank the stock. So you need to settle this beforehand.
And I wish I'd have been taking notes because that quote that his grandmother said.
A bogus claim on an important day is better than a real claim on an
On an ordinary day.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's good.
There's
good
some
enough that
really
I didn't
good
write
quote.
it down. Yeah.
Yeah. Go back and rewatch it. In the copy room, Mike and Rachel are there, and he is like whispering, or they're like having their private copy room in the same spot that they sealed the deal at the end of season 2. And he tells her about the investment banking job. And Rachel reminds Mike that Harvey is his friend, so he needs to talk to Harvey about this. Mike's avoiding it, thinking of him as just his boss, but she's like, no. If he is your friend, he needs to have your best interest in mind, and if he doesn't, he's not a very good boss. So Mike's like, okay, I'll go talk to him.
So Mike is in Harvey's office, and Harvey doesn't want to talk about whatever Mike wants to talk about because he needs to talk about the bullshit claim against Marathon Footwear. He's like, whatever you have, it has to wait. Mike's like, okay. And Mike has to find out everything about this quelling guy. And
Like,
kind of
get all
where
the
in the
dirt.
world is this a shakedown? Like, what's happening here?
So then James Quelling is in the office, and Harvey and Mike come walking in, confidently talking about how James is getting a divorce. He is mounting debt. So this case is all the money grab, and it's obvious.
Yeah.
So he asks for $100,000 to drop it. James does. And Mike's like, okay, sure, except for it precludes you from bringing up any other claims. And James is like, oh man, dang, because I have 10 more plaintiffs. So actually I need $1 million to settle this. Then he walks away. And Harvey's like, okay, he's a gambler. And Mike's like, well, how does that help us?
Right.
And he goes, because he doesn't know that I am one.
Yeah. We know that Harvey's one.
We know Harvey's a gambler. Harvey's a good gambler.
Yeah, he's real good.
And it seems like James is a gambler, but possibly not as good.
The reason that we know that Harvey is a good gambler is one, we've seen it too. He does not play the game, he plays the man.
Yes. And it seems like James is playing the game.
Yeah.
So Mike comes clean, and he tells Harvey about the job offer, and then he says he's going to talk about Jonathan tonight, and that's why he can't go with Harvey to play poker against James. So Harvey's like, well, why didn't you mention it earlier, this job offer with Jonathan Sidwell? And Mike's like, well, you know, and he goes, well, if it were me, I'd take it. You can compete there like you do here without anything hanging over your head.
Yeah, which like is shocking. And Mike wants Harvey's advice, you know, but he was like, you'll still be in the majors, it's just in a different sport. You know, Harvey does have his hands in little prayers when Mike leaves because he is sad.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Instead of doing the thing where he looks out the window and puts his like finger on his chin, he's
got full prayer hands.
Full prayer hands. Yeah, he's not happy about it. I think Mike wanted to talk it out more with Harvey, and Harvey's like, no, just take it, dude.
Yeah, which isn't what Mike wanted to hear.
No, Mike wanted to see him fight for it.
Yeah. Or like have a discussion and recognize that Mike is heavily weighing both of these.
Yes.
But Harvey's just like, there's nothing to weigh. Take that job. It's an excellent settlement.
Yeah.
So then Scotty comes in, and she's talking with Harvey, and she wants Harvey to make it up to her, but he's so distracted because this conversation with Mike has just happened, and she's being all like cutesy and flirty, and he's like, no, sometimes I work in this office, which is a dick thing to say.
Right.
And so she's like, all right, fair enough, boss.
Right.
So Donna comes in, and she's like, are you sure that's how you want to play that? Because the anger is covering the hurt. You clearly are upset about Mike, and if you keep doing this, you're not going to have an associate or a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, actually good advice from Donna on this one.
It is good advice. And then we see Harvey walking into the sunset into a poker house. And Harvey walks up to the table where James Quelling is playing. Buying his $25,000. There is no limit. He slams down a bunch of cash. He raises $45,000. James says Harvey is bluffing. And Harvey says, call me or walk. He calls, and Harvey wins. Right? And he's going to give the winnings to Quelling.
It's $100,000, which is exactly how much debt Quelling is in.
And he's going to get it cash free. I mean, like, it's going to be cash. Yes. So there's no taxes on it or anything. So this is a very different situation.
Are there no taxes if you win in a poker house?
I mean, is it a legit poker house?
I think so.
Oh, it is?
It had, like, very nice tables and dragons and things.
I think legit things can happen with nice tables and dragons. And
oh,
it could,
really?
Like, actually be under the
radar.
I don't know. It's a good question. Is gambling legal in New York State?
I don't know. Maybe in a poker house. I don't know. I don't know either. I mean, they have like casinos, but only on the reservations.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's a great question.
I wouldn't let a lawyer into my casino.
I assumed that he was giving it to him because one, it wouldn't be like reported, nobody would know about it. It would be cash,
just total winnings.
Like, just take these cash winnings. Your name's not gonna be attached to it. Like, walk on out of here, Bo.
No, that's fair.
Walk on out of here.
But James played this wrong. I guess he took the money because Harvey leaves. And then Mike is at drinks with Jonathan, and he's throwing out these crazy demands. And Jonathan's like, listen, I'm not going to negotiate with you until you accept the job. Because I don't want someone who's with me for the money. I want someone who's with me because they want to kick some ass.
Yeah.
And Mike clearly doesn't want the job yet. So Jonathan's like, I'm not going to negotiate.
He said, I'm going to start interviewing other people.
And then Mike won't have that job offer.
Yeah. So we cut back to Harvey at poker, and Harvey says, guys like you always think other guys win because they got lucky, but I make my own luck. Yeah, you do, Exhibit A.
Yeah, Exhibit A.
Harvey tells him to sign the agreement and take the $100,000.
Yeah. Mike and Rachel are in their kitchen, and he's like, what do you think I should do? What should I do? She's like, listen, I'm not going to tell you what you should do. I'm going to sneeze.
Think about white cows having sex.
What?
Worked.
Yeah. Is that why you never sneeze? You're just constantly thinking about cows having sex. You have so much trouble sneezing because in your mind, it's just constantly
Cows fucking.
back of your mind.
He's just cows fucking.
Just like you can never get it out of your head.
You know, it's funny. No, because I don't. I was about to say caught me, but your husband, my brother, taught me that.
Yeah.
He taught me that.
He sneezes fine.
Yeah. The idea is that if you just think of something distracts your brain.
But it's so bad to not sneeze it's like really bad.
I know. I want to sneeze. I'm not trying to hold those honkers in.
But you can't stop thinking about cow honkers.
That's like a cow. That's good.
Utterly
Let's
ridiculous.
Let's get it done. We gotta go.
So she's like, I can't make this decision for you. And he's like, I want to know how you feel about it. And she's like, okay, well, the truth is you already know what you want to do.
Right.
You already know. So
Right.
either I'm going to say it, and then if you don't make that decision, I'm a jerk, or I'm going to say it, and I'm not trying to make this. But she says, of course, you should take that job.
Yeah.
So Mike is then touching all of Harvey's balls as he's looking at the skyline, and Donna comes in to talk. And she's like, listen, Mike, I know you're going to take the job, but you just don't want to admit it. And then she takes a really deep sigh, and she goes, God damn it, do you know what that man has done for you?
I know.
And I'm like, Donna, all he's done for him is put him in a position where he cannot rise to, what Harvey could have done is be like, go to law school. Let me pay for law school, like Jessica Pearson did. But instead he was like, come be a fraud. He didn't do anything for Mike except for make him exposed and anxious and not able to succeed and use his beautiful, wonderful brain.
We had some good paychecks.
Good paychecks, but for how long?
Yeah.
I think this is really bad advice. But she says Harvey needs Mike. So she's really looking out for Harvey, I think, more than Mike in this situation.
Well, she usually is.
She is always looking out for Harvey.
But then she does say, you better go be the best goddamn investment banker this city has ever seen. And we see the tiniest smirk from Mike. It's like a tiny
Because
smirk.
they're friends. And just like they talked about with Lewis so many episodes, is like, I'm going to tell you how I really feel, but you do with it what you will. You know, and will or won't do.
Yeah.
So Harvey is then outside waiting for Scotty to apologize again. And Scotty's like, oh, what happened? Donna explained your feelings to you. And Harvey's like, listen, Mike got a job offer. Scotty says, well, just tell him to stay.
Like just tell him how you feel.
Yeah, tell him how you feel.
Like a weird novel thing to do for Harvey.
Yeah, but Scotty's like, duh, do that. But you know who else is outside this office waiting?
James Quelling.
James Quelling.
James recalls that Harvey mentioned Hessington Oil at the poker night the night before. So when I looked into it, he figured out that the Harold Gunderson and Mike Ross pairing was actually a bribe, and they were in cahoots or they were colluding, and so he needs $2 million to settle the deal now.
Or he's going to go to the bar.
Yeah,
and Mike and Harvey are going to get disbarred.
Which is a huge problem because Mike is not an attorney and is not in the bar.
Yeah, he cannot be disbarred.
Yeah.
Harvey storms into the office and he's like, hey, we need to hack in and pass the bar. Like, now you need to go past the bar because of James. And Mike's like, it actually doesn't matter because I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to be a lawyer. I'm going to be an investment banker.
Yeah.
And Harvey's like, no, there's not another way. Mike quitting isn't going to change that. Like, you still need to be in the bar. Right? Mike kind of leaves. Harvey's devastated. And so Scotty comes in to comfort Harvey. And she's like, well, hey, if he's leaving, did you tell him that you wanted to stay? And he's like, no, I didn't get around to it. She goes,
Which is like unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Like, just what the heck?
She's like, share. He's like, I was busy. She's like, with what? Share it with me. I want to know. Like, he won't tell her anything. And she's confused why he's not taking on Quelling. She's like, normally, this is not the Harvey I know. He would take him on. And like, why is Mike really leaving? Like, what is it? What is this really about? And then he jumps up and says, God damn it, can't it just be about what it's about?
What I said it's about.
What I said it's about, yeah.
Right, not what it's actually about. Because Scotty's trying to get to the heart of it.
She is.
Because it is weird. She's like, you wouldn't get disbarred for this. Like, that'd be so hard to prove. But the problem is Mike isn't at the bar. And so Harvey would get disbarred for knowingly employing an associate who did not pass the bar.
Yep.
This Mike thing is really dropping a wedge between these two. And so Scotty says, we'll just make up later so we can do it all over again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which is true. This feels like every day of their relationship has been like this.
Sad pattern.
It's so sad. So
toxic. Sad pattern. So then we see Harvey drinking scotch at home very fast. Door knocks and it's Mike. He went to see Lola, and he followed the money for James.
He did not go to put himself in the bar.
He didn't go to put, but he just went to go follow the money. Because Lola can kind of hack into everything. He isn't going to fake the bar, but he found out what they can do with James. And Harvey says, hey, as a going away present, why don't you go be a lawyer one last time and go put James in his place? So he drops the settlement.
And so Mike goes and confronts James. And James is like, oh, you got my settlement check? And he goes, no, I don't have a dime for you. Basically, when you follow the money, James was doing something that would lead to immediate disbarment.
Right.
And Mike, he's like, well, I have nothing to lose. And Mike's like, I actually also have nothing to lose because this is my last day as a lawyer. Good luck in front of the bar.
Right.
And James is like, wait, no. I lost everything because I took some risks for my clients because I wanted them to get more. And then I lost it all. Like, I lost my family. I lost my financial situation. The only thing I have left is being a lawyer. This is who I am. This is all I have. Being a lawyer means everything to me.
And that gets Mike.
That gets Mike. But he says, it's up to you. So James is like, I dropped the suit. I promise. The only thing is, like, he promises, but literally any time we've had a verbal gentleman's agreement, no one is a gentleman in this show.
No, they aren't.
They wear nice suits, but they are going to promise you a bunch of stuff and then sneakily go around you and lawyer around and meddle up your life.
Yep.
Harvey's just staring into space, and Donna's just watching him in the office. And he goes, I know you're there. He does not want to talk about it. He is going to tell Scotty. He's going to tell Scotty about Mike.
Yeah.
Which makes Donna
whiplash around. She's like, hold on.
Whoa, mister.
What are you doing? He's
Do
like,
not.
You can't tell her right now because you know who she is. She's someone who's pissed at you. And she keeps finding a reason to be pissed at you. So you sure can't tell her something that could literally ruin everything when she is pissed at you because you just don't know how she's going to use it. Donna doesn't say this. I'm saying this part of it.
But that is what she implies.
Yeah.
But to me, I was like, Donna, I don't think that this is true.
I know.
Donna also says, like, the jeopardy is gone. Mike has left. So don't talk about it. Just, like, move on from it. Ignore this.
Yeah.
But then Mike walks in and he asks for a minute because he's officially a member of the New York bar and he wants to stay. So the jeopardy is not gone, Donna.
No, it's not.
But I just felt like, I was like, Harvey does... they have so much history, Harvey and Scotty. While they screw each other over on cases, I don't think they try to screw each other over personally. I don't think Scotty tries to screw Harvey over personally.
You're probably right.
Harvey has screwed her over personally and professionally.
Yeah.
But she's never done anything. Like, her track record, even when she's pissed, she's never done anything.
No, she's kind of a pushover.
Very much with him.
With
no
him,
one else.
For sure. You know what's funny? As I was thinking about, like, poker rooms in New York City. Mm-hmm. And probably the only way to get there is to hop on a quick little train and pass through Prediction Town.
Well, let's go and we'll just stop on Prediction Town on our way to New York City.
Let's do that, because sometimes you have to make a couple of stops when you're in New York City. Yep. And why not make a stop at good old PD?
It's penis stick.
Penis stick.
No, and this is the light rail, so here we are. Jeopardy is not gone. And I think that Harvey should tell Scotty, which means he probably won't do that. And now Scotty will work there but not be in a relationship with Harvey, and that feels very tense. But not different from their entire relationship as we know it. So I feel like their relationship is coming to an end, and it's going to be weird. She's already got the $500,000 buy-in.
Right.
Immediately, because Mike has decided to stay, there will be a million guns pointed at him. If James can get Harvey this nervous... Like, if he can, he's this lawyer who's like this gambler that they can read pretty quickly. Imagine someone like Travis Tanner, Daniel Hardman, Cameron Dennis, even Harold Gunderson, Van Dyke. Like, all of these attorneys could find this out about Mike.
Interesting.
And could be very bad.
Oh, I didn't think
but I
about
just
that.
think about, like, how many powerful people, now that Mike has definitively said, I am staying full-time in this fraud, this
Right.
is not going to be good.
Living in my fraud.
Living in my fraud, and I think it's coming in the next episode. Rachel, I feel like, is really love-bombed right now.
Okay.
But eventually, like, the adrenaline's going to wear off, and the juice is not worth the squeeze here with Mike. Because he's a fraud. He's a bad boy. But he's not going to be marriage material. And I think she will be loyal to him in, like, a friendship way. I don't think she's ever going to out him. But I don't think that... I said their endgame, but now the more I think about
this
it...
is a hard pivot from you saying they were endgame.
I know, but I think the thing is that now Mike has had this opportunity. What changed it for me is Mike has had an opportunity to make a legitimate career path for himself, and he has not taken it. And that's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Because Rachel is coming back with a legitimate career path that has legs, and Mike is not.
His doesn't.
No. Lewis and Sheila, I think, will hook up again. I think the cat adoption route, I'm sticking to that. I think it's a good one for them.
Okay.
But I think they're not over yet. Scotty and Donna, I think, are going to fight. Donna has shown her hand and her true feelings about Scotty. I think she's been like, she is bad news. You can't trust her in a Donna way. But I think Scotty is vested in the firm, and she's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Mm-mm.
Jessica keeps having to flex. Like,
Okay.
she needs Harvey to flex with her. There's a lot of heavy lifting for Jessica Pearson to keep things afloat while Harvey's busy cleaning up his own messes. Like in this episode, Harvey's on the case, but also trying to deal with this Mike mess. Jessica's always solving these huge messes for the firm. And Harvey's just solving... But I guess she made her own messes, too.
And she's doing it without an assistant.
She doesn't have an assistant. She doesn't have a Donna.
She doesn't have a secretary or an assistant. Like she didn't have a legal
she doesn't even
secretary
have a
or an assistant.
Norma.
Yeah.
She doesn't even have a dictaphone.
She didn't have a dictaphone.
She has nothing.
She's got her sweet Jessica Pearson brain.
What a badass. But also, get this woman some help. Not because she needs help, but because I think
She should get it.
you should treat yourself.
You should treat yourself.
That's all I got.
Speaking of treating yourself, we got one more episode. We do have some emails that have come in, but we didn't get a chance to read them, so we'll make sure to fill you in next week. Thank you guys that have been writing in, and also for all the wonderful response from the Harvey Specter newsletter, that first episode, or first volume.
The first
volume one.
It was so much fun to write. I can't wait. The next one's coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, it'll be here just around the corner, you know? So you can sign up for that. We're going to tell you how in a minute when I wake up and do this sign off. Chugga 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 chugga. Thanks for tuning in. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Make sure to visit us at our new website, onlysuitsfans.com. And you can sign up for the Harvey Specter newsletter and read all about everything from OSF land. You can listen on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere else you get your podcast. And make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a review.
If you don't have anything nice to say, you can eat it. Eat it up in your own little mouth.
Eat it in your own little mouth.
And then go to onlysuitsfans.com and write us any mean thing that you had to say in your review. Get it out, delete it, don't send that. Go back, write a review where it's only nice things. Press submit 5 stars.
And we will read it for everyone.
Everyone can hear your wonderful, kind words.
Thank you so much. Goodbye. This was fun.